All right, everyone. UFC 316 is this week, and I'm going to give you my picks and prediction for the entire card. I am 137 and 67 so far. Had a really bad performance on the last card, but it was a fucking nightmare, honestly. That Blanchfield Barber card was terrible. I went 4 and 5. So yeah, obviously a really bad night of predictions, but we're going to get back in the right call. And I usually bounce back real good after one of those shitters. And we're going to start with this first fight, Markel Medeiros versus Mark Chowinski. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I know I said I'm gonna bounce back real good on this card. I don't even know who Mark Chowinski is. No idea. Obviously shorter than Markel Medeiros. From what I have looked up about him, he has a very small reach, which has not been indicated. But he's a sub guy. Fought in Anthony Pettis FC. Dude, I just think they brought him in to I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you about this guy. He's obviously a submission specialist. I don't know if he's great at getting takedowns. I don't know if he's just fought bad competition, but I'm going to be real. I'm kind of a certified Markel Medeiros glazer. I actually think he's very good. I know he's had some performances where you're like it hasn't been that great. But I actually think he's pretty good, dude. And I was going to pick him to beat Belagioki, and I'm going to pick him to beat Mark Chowinski here. Probably a TKO I'm going to go with. I just don't. When you look at Chowinski's record, like I just showed you, he got a lot of subs in the first round. He won a decision, right? But everything else is really in the first round here. He's not proven through the Contender Series. He's fought in Anthony Pettis FC a couple times. I don't even know what the fuck. He's obviously fought in LFA. Okay, that's a good promotion. Great activity. Really, really good activity. But it looks his professional career started very recently. And Markel Medeiros, I actually think is pretty good, man. I'm going to be honest. I think he's got good takedown defense. And even when he is down, he always fights to get back up. His striking's good. He's very composed in there as well. The moment doesn't really get to Markel Medeiros. When you look he beat Landon Quinones. He had a split decision with Austin Hubbard, which I thought he clearly won, if I'm going to be real. He's also been again, 2024 wasn't a super active year for him, but 2023 he fought four times. Fought a bunch in 22. He's got a longer career. Again, has never been finished. I'm going to pick him to win this fight. I think he's going to be able to outclass Chowinski here. I don't even know where the fuck Chowinski's from, dude. If he's American or he's definitely okay. He's American. That says USA. I'm gonna go Markel Medeiros by decision or late round TKO. I'm picking Markel Medeiros. We're gonna move on. Kalen Selfkill versus Yanela Shmuz. I'm picking Kalen Selfkill. I think he's gonna win this fight probably by decision. Yanela Shmuz is a tough guy to put away, but this minus 650 line, you would think that Kalen Selfkill is an absolute dude. You would think that he's getting these Isaac Dolgarian lines where he's just not that great. Quaylen Selfkill is fine, but he's not this fucking stud. Yeah, he flatlined Anshul Jabli in 16 seconds, but that's Anshul Jabli. The guy's 25, relatively inexperienced. I know Yanela Shmuz is the same record as him, but I'm willing to bet Yanela Shmuz has trained longer than Kaylen Selfkill has. I think he has. Now, Yanela Shmuz's strongest aspect is he's got a little bit of pop in his hand and the wrestling. Listen, but this guy he repeats patterns time and time again. And you can get reads on guys that repeat patterns. You can't fool people when you keep doing the same thing over and over again, no matter how much you try and cover it up. So I think Kaylen Selfkill is going to win this fight via recognizing the patterns of Yanela Shmuz and just really being able to take over, keeping his eyes wide open and not getting, disrupted by any of the mayhem that may be going on around the time Yanela Shmuz is doing things. We're going off the rails, dude. We're going off the rails here. If you know, you know. Kaylen Selfkill he's good. He's fine. He's just not that proven. And Yanela Shmuz does have some pop in his hands. I just don't think that minus 650. Listen, I'm picking Kaylen Selfkill to win, but seeing him as minus 650 is ridiculous. He's not good enough to be minus 650. I don't know that he finishes Yanela Shmuz. Yanela Shmuz is pretty tough. He's a tough guy. He lost to who? Chris Duncan, I think? He lost a decision to Chris Duncan, didn't get finished, and everyone else is kind of getting finished by him. he's kind of slick. He beat Trevor Peek, who's kind of a monster. He knocked out Sam Patterson. So he's fought some comp, like he has. But I think that Quaylen Selkild's going to be a little too much for him. He's going to be taller. He's definitely much rangier. I think he can just stay on the outside and outpoint him to a decision here. And Quaylen Selkild's grappling is pretty good. I think it's going to be hard for Yanel Ashmouz to take him down. So I'm going Quaylen Selkild by decision. Moving on, Jekka Saraghi versus Jun Sang Yu. Jun Sang Yu is my pick. I think he's going to get a finish here, probably by TKO over Jekka Saraghi. I just think Jekka Saraghi is one of the lesser fighters on the roster, if I'm going to be real. Jun Sang Yu has fought some mid-competition, but as his career has increased, he's fought in better competition. He's actually performed better with it. I think he's just going to be one of these guys that consistently gets better the more we see him in the octagon. I know he's not like this young 26-year-old prospect, but he's probably fought a million times on the amateur scene. And from what I've seen so far, he's decent. Like, he is decent. I don't think Jekka Saraghi is good at all, so I'm going to go with Jun Sang Yu, probably by knockout. I think he's going to have a standout performance here against Jekka Saraghi. I think Jekka Saraghi's just... He lost to Weston Wilson and got finished by Anshul Jubli. Like, come on. And last up on the early prelims, Wayne Kong versus Ariane De Silva. Certified Wayne Kong Glazer here. I think she's very, very good. She lost to Gabby Fernandez, yes. But she was winning the first round, got caught with a shot in the second round, and then Gabby Fernandez had one of the quicker back takes that I've seen in women's MMA history. Like Grasso-Shevchenko-esque speed. Maybe faster, I'm going to say, but she jumped on the choke, got the rear naked choke. I don't think Ariane De Silva is going to be able to cause any issues on the feet for Wayne Kong to the point where she's going to have to worry about anything other than the grappling. Gabriela Fernandez. I know it's Wayne Kong fighting, guys. So Gabriela Fernandez, yes, she fought a good fight like she did, and Wayne Kong was kind of picking her apart in that first round, but Gabriela Fernandez has some pop. Ariane De Silva does not. She really doesn't. She's got decent grappling, but I don't think she's going to be able to actually implement it and get this to the ground. She may have moments where she's holding Wayne Kong up against the cage, but I think Wayne Kong is actually very, very dangerous. She has great low kicks. Her kickboxing's tremendous, and she has that one-punch knockout power. Like, she can flatline somebody in the cage, and I think she's very good for the sport. I do. I think Wayne Kong's very good for the sport. She's kind of a shit talker, super talented, and when you look at 33 in women's MMA, that's not old. It's not. It's not even, like, she's going to have another 6-7 years of, like, being good, I think, honestly, because, like, at least 5 years. I think Wayne Kong's going to have a good performance today. I think she's going to find a knockout in the second round. I think she's going to land a lot of good shots on Ariane De Silva in the first round, kind of piece her up a bit, and then end up setting up the KO shot in round 2 that she's going to land. I'm saying knockout round 2 for Wayne Kong. I'm very high on Wayne Kong. Chaos Williams versus Andres Gustafsson. I'm going Chaos Williams. I could honestly see him landing like a step-in elbow or a straight 2 down the pipe and flatlining Andres Gustafsson. When I watch Chaos Williams fight, he's had the ability to go to decision and win decisions. So I don't think his cardio is, like, terrible. But, like, he had a decent performance hanging in there with Randy Brown. And Randy Brown showed him a lot of respect. Like, he knows the power that's coming his way. He went to a split win with Rolando Bedoya, who's very durable. Carlston Harris, he flatlined, who we've seen has had competitive fights with the likes of Santiago Ponzinibbio. Then he got subbed by Gabriel Bonfim, out cold. Out completely cold. Now, I don't love his grappling, but I don't think that when you're facing a guy like Andres Gustafsson, Gus doesn't have, like, he's not out there and he's not going to, like, necessarily destroy you in the submission game. He's going to wear you down and TKO you against the fence. That's kind of how he does things here. I think Andres Gustafsson would have beaten a Traven Giles on short notice. Chaos Williams was training for a fight. He's been prepared for this fight. And he has one-punch power that I don't think Traven Giles had. Chaos Williams can send a 1-2 down the pipe and flatline Andres Gustafsson. And Andres Gustafsson leaves his head right on the line as he charges in. And he's just going to try and, like, blitzkrieg you, push you against the cage and wear you down. I think that if you're doing that and you're going into the space of Chaos Williams like that, I think there's a ton of opportunity for him to land a step-in elbow or a straight 1-2 down the pipe and flatline Andres Gustafsson. I'm going to pick a round 1 KO for Chaos here. I think it's going to be a round 1 KO. Now, if this fight gets past the halfway point of the second round, I can see Andres Gustafsson drowning Chaos Williams and getting a late round finish. But in this fight, I think Gustafsson's too reckless coming in. And his striking's terrible. His striking defense is terrible. His striking offense is terrible. He just kind of smothers you. That's his whole thing, is he'll just smother you the whole time and try and wear you out and get a finish that way. And it's violent clinch work. I will say that. It's violent, drowning clinch work. But I think Chaos Williams is going to be able to tag him as he's blitzing in. I'm going to go round 1 KO for Chaos Williams here. And he's been training. Like, Gus is going to have to make that 170 cut 2 weeks in a row. Sergey Spivak versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I was going back and forth on this one a lot because I do think Waldo's a lot better than I've given him credit for in the past. He's got some pop. He's fast, especially for a heavyweight. He's fast. And listen, they got the same reach here. He's definitely more dangerous on the feet, but I think Sergey Spivak's going to be able to topple him over. I'm going to pick Sergey Spivak here. I'm going to go round 2 submission. I think round 1, they're going to feel each other out on the feet a little bit. No Diddy. No Jones, sorry. I know it's Jones month, so. But I think they're going to be able to pitter-patter at each other a little bit. I think Waldo's going to be very concerned with the takedown, so he's not going to let his hands go as much as he has against like a Rebellis Despain, even though, or against a Ryan Spann, I guess I'll say. Or really a Rebellis Despain. Like, he kind of let his hands go a little bit and then just blitz takedowns. He's not going to be able to do that to Spivak. And I watched Spivak have success in the grappling against Jailton Almeida at moments. Now, I know Almeida ended up knocking him out. I think Almeida's got some pop and some power, dude. And I actually don't think his striking is terrible. I think it's manageable to do what he wants to do, which is get you to the ground. So I think Sergey Spivak's going to get it done here. I think he's going to be able to topple Waldo Cortez Acosta over. And I think he's going to be able to dominate him in the ground and pound. And then I think it ends up where Waldo Cortez Acosta gives up his back. When this happens a second time in round 2, Spivak's going to be able to land good elbows, start hurting Acosta. Waldo Cortez Acosta is going to roll to his back, give up his neck, and Sergey Spivak's going to get a rear naked choke. So I'm going round 2 submission. I think Spivak's very, very good at getting takedowns. And he's still improving. This is one of the things that he's fought better competition. He's still improving. I've seen fights from Waldo where, and he's won fights that I didn't think he should win, but like, he lost a decision to De Lima, and I think he got taken to the ground and kind of abused in that fight a little bit. It was 29-28. But yeah, like, where he was losing the fight was when he would get taken to the ground. And he had success in the striking. He did. I don't think it's going to... I think Spivak's just so much better of a grappler than De Lima, and I think he's going to be able to topple Waldo over. And when you look at this level of comp that Spivak's faced, this is a good matchup for him. It's like Almeida was a bad matchup for him because Almeida can out-scramble him at times. So he's not going to be able to just ragdoll him to the ground. Tybura, he subbed Tybura in round 1, and like, before you give Tybura shit, dude, Tybura's the permanent prospect checker, dude. Tybura, like, wins fights against people that you think he shouldn't beat. Like, you're like, he's down, he's out, and then Tybura wins. Like, he beat McParkin. He's beaten decent comp, dude. Like, Tybura's a tough guy to get out of there. And Spivak dominated him. Cyril Gane he lost to. Cyril Gane's one of the more athletic, better heavyweights, and it's a lot harder for Spivak to take down a Cyril Gane because of the way Cyril Gane fights. Waldo's more of a boxer. He doesn't really stand on the outside and pick apart, kick your legs, throw side kicks to keep you at distance. Cyril Gane does that, so it's harder to get in on the takedown. He subbed Derek Lewis in a round. He knocked out Augusto Sakai. Like, he's good. And he's coming off a loss. When he comes off a loss, he ends up getting a win after that. So I'm going Sergey Spivak to get this one done by submission in round 2. Azamat Murzakanov versus Brendan Hibario. I'm picking Azamat Murzakanov. For those of you that know, he may look a little blobby, but he's very good. He's very fast. The reach is a little alarming. I will say that. And Brendan Hibario does have some pop, but he's just not that good, man. I'm going to keep it real, dude. He's just not. He's super hittable. And I think Azamat Murzakanov is going to absolutely be able to walk him down, slip punches, land a left hand over the top. And I think he ends up KOing him in round 1. I'm going to pick the round 1 KO over Hibario. I think Hibario's chin is suspect. And the guys he's beaten, they're not that good, dude. Like, they're really not. Nurgozaev, Not that good. He got a submission, but you're not subbing Mirzakhanov. He's not getting him to the ground and subbing him, I can tell you that. Kyle Machado's terrible. He went to a split with him. Gadyazulov, he lost to. Gadyazulov's not that good. He got KO'd by Bruno Lopez, who we just saw lose to Dustin Jacoby. And he got he KO'd Bruno Lopez. Never mind. Sorry. He got KO'd by Zhang Yang, who's a monster. I think Azamat Mirzakhanov is going to be able to find the chin with the left hand and KO him. And I think he's going to get the respect early by putting a shot at the body, put one on the chest, landing a stiff jab, and Hiberio's going to be like, oh shit, dude, this is a tough one. Hiberio's got a very big size advantage in this one when they get in there, but I think Azamat Mirzakhanov is going to end up being the more technical guy, landing good low kicks, and then switching it up and going up top. So I'm going to go with Azamat Mirzakhanov. I think he finds a finish in round 1 here. I think he has a standout performance. He's been waiting to get in the cage, and he's gonna. Like, Alonzo Menifield's got a little bit of free reach as well. And Mirzakhanov had no issue TKO him in round 2. So I'm going to say Azamat Mirzakhanov round 1 KO. And now my boy, Joshua Van. I think he gets it done. I think he's going to win a decision here against Bruno Silva. Maybe a round 3 TKO. He's just so good, dude. His boxing combinations are nuts. And Bruno Silva's decent. Like, he can get takedowns in fights. Everything I've seen from Joshua Van, his takedown defense is getting better and better and better every fight. He's so active. He's got a ton of time in the cage now. And I think that's only helping him get further and further along in his career. He does have a shorter reach, but he's fighting a guy that's his size. And Bruno Silva's got a little bit of pop. But I think the chin is refreshed to Joshua Van. I think he just got hit perfectly by Charles Johnson and finished in an awkward way. I think Joshua Van's going to be able to put it on Bruno Silva, maybe lose round 1 or have a close round 1. Round 2, start running away with it. Just walking him down, landing great combinations, slipping, dodging, and just absolutely taking Bruno Silva to school. I'm going to make a statement here, and y'all might call me crazy. I think Joshua Van's going to whoop on Bruno Silva worse than Manel Kape did. Now, he's not going to emote in the middle of the cage, but he's going to whoop on him worse. He's going to land more shots to the body, mix him up, go upstairs, land a couple high kicks. I think you're going to see kicks come into play here for Joshua Van a lot. But he is going to be able to defend all these takedowns, sprawl, and just break Bruno Silva. Body shots up against the cage, landing combinations. They get separated a little bit. He starts walking them down again, landing big combinations. I think Joshua Van's the guy, dude. I think he's going to be a future champion in this division. Maybe not in the next 2 years, but I can see by the age of 27, this guy fighting for a title and winning a title. So I'm going to go with Joshua Van here. I'm going to pick him to win this fight by decision over Bruno Silva, 30-27. You know what? Maybe 30-26. I can see the third round, him beating him up so damn bad. So I'm going to go with Joshua Van here, 30-26 decision. Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque. I want to pick Vicente Luque so bad. I do, because I think he's a much better grappler than Kevin Holland. I just don't know that he's going to be able to implement a grappling game plan. And this is how crazy Kevin Holland's wingspan is. Dude, 81 inches of reach at 170. Brenison Tiberio had long reach at 81 inches of reach for light heavyweight. I think that's a serious problem for Luque. I think Luque is going to struggle getting on the inside and landing shots, struggling getting inside, landing takedowns. If he does get these takedowns, I think he can dominate Holland on the ground a little bit here, maybe latch up a submission, but I think Kevin Holland's going to get it done. I hate to say that because I love Vicente Luque, but I think Kevin Holland's going to get it done. I'm going to pick him to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to keep Vicente Luque on the outside, landing jabs, landing big straight right hands, low kicks, deep kicks, and staying on the outside all fight. I think he's going to be able to beat Vicente Luque by decision here. Vicente Luque's path to victory is going to be the grappling or maybe a power shot, but even if he lands the power shot, like, he's not going to KO Holland. And the level of comp Holland has faced is so good recently. Like, we like to meme him because he's a lot. Dude, Gunnar Nelson, he beat. Gunnar Nelson's not great. He's a big grappler, and you're like, well, Kevin Holland loses to grapplers, not 170 grapplers. That's another aspect of this is at 170. Kevin Holland is way better at 170. He is. He beat Michal Jacek by decision, but he got knocked down. Lost to Dolidze at middleweight. Lost to Rainier de Ritter at middleweight. Lost to MVP at welterweight. Yeah, but like, that's MVP, dude. That's an impossible fight for Kevin Holland. Always going to be difficult for him. Lost to JDM, middleweight. But again, split decision. Should have been unanimous. But you know what I mean. Beat Chiesa at welterweight. Beat Ponzinibbio at welterweight. Lost to Wonder Boy in a striking only battle. This is just a catch weight, but like, dude, he's good at welterweight. And he's fought great comp. Not that Vicente Luque hasn't. He's fought very good comp, but his wins have been less impressive recently. Like, the Themba win was great. Awesome to see Luque come back. I just think this is a tough matchup for him, bro. And this is the fight that's always going to scare me, is the brain hemorrhage he had. Dominated RDA, but RDA is a little small for Vicente Luque. Got smoked by Buckley. So, I'm going to pick Kevin Holland to win this fight by decision. Patchy Mix versus Mario Batista. I'm going to pick an underdog in Mario Batista here, guys. I like Patchy Mix. I think he's pretty good. I actually think Mario Batista's pretty good. I know how much I shit on him. I know how much I hate him. He's in the prime of his career. So is Patchy Mix. But the people that Mario Batista trains with, there's a lot of bantamweights down in Arizona to train with. And he's been training with a lot of them. He's trained with Sean O'Malley. His striking has improved tremendously. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Patchy Mix here. And I think that he's going to try and keep us on the feet. Patchy might have moments where he's trying to shoot takedowns. I think Mario Batista's takedown defense is very, very good. It is. He lost to Aldo, but it was a close fight. Dominated Ricky Simone. Arguably could have lost to Damone Blackshear, but subbed Gennady, subbed Lopez. Like, he's on a good win streak here. He is, and he's getting better every time he gets out there. I know what he did to Jose Aldo was an absolute disgrace. I think he's going to have a bounce back in this fight. I think Patchy Mix is very good. Very, very good. But I think that we're going to see that Mario Batista is able to outland him on the feet, out-technical him, out-technique him, land low kicks, land strikes, land grapple, like, maybe have some good success in the grappling. I feel like he's going to look bigger than Patchy in there. I feel like he's going to physically look larger in there. But we'll see. I'm going to pick the underdog here. I think Mario Batista's got what it takes to get it done. I think he's just a... I don't know, man. I want Patchy to kind of prove it to me a little bit before I pick him against a guy like Mario. Like, if it was Patchy versus Cheeto, I'd pick Patchy. If it was Patchy versus Pedro Munoz, like, I'm picking Patchy. Like, if it was Patchy versus fucking Ricky Simone, I'm picking Patchy. If it was Patchy versus Eamon Zahabi, I'm picking Patchy. If it was Patchy versus, like, someone outside the top 10 or one of the lesser guys, like, Patchy could beat a Figgy. I just think Mario Batista's a lot better than he's been getting credit for recently. So I'm going to say Mario Batista, even though I hate him, I want him to lose. I hope he gets flatlined. I'm going to pick him to win this fight. I think he gets it done by decision. Joe Pyfer versus Kelvin Gastelum. I'm picking Joe Pyfer. This is an easy pick. Dude, I really think Joe Pyfer's going to dominate Kelvin. And I'm hyped for this fight, bro. There's legit build-up. This is a good card. This is a very good card. Seeing a Patchy Mix makes his debut against a ranked bantamweight, that's a good fight. Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland, that's a good fight. And this has some heat behind it. This is going to be a lot of shit talk at the press conference, bro. They're going to actually, they might steal the show. Kelvin's going to be trying to defend Mexico. And Joe Pyfer's going to be shitting on Mexico the whole time. I think the body cam's getting turned off today, boys. I think Joe Pyfer's going to go out there and he's going to put Kelvin Gastelum's lights out. Maybe a submission. I can see him getting an arm triangle submission here. But I think he's going to be able to hurt Kelvin Gastelum. And just look at Kelvin, man. He's 5'9". He's at middleweight. Joe Pyfer's 6'2", and he looks... Joe Pyfer's big for middleweight. Kelvin is fat at middleweight. I think the striking of Joe Pyfer is pretty damn good, and his grappling's very good. I don't see a path to victory for Kelvin Gastelum outside of Joe Pyfer gassing out. In 3 rounds, I think he's going to be okay. And he's got a training partner in Sean Brady who's literally already fought Kelvin. He knows how to fight him. I'm going to pick Pyfer by finish. I can see him either getting an arm triangle in like round 2 or knocking him out in like round 1 or 2. I think he's going to be able to land the big overhands, land the check hooks on the inside. I think that straight right hand for Pyfer is going to be money. I think Kelvin's going to have some moments in the striking, but eventually he's going to get clipped. I think at some point Kelvin's going to be chinnable. And if he's ever going to be chinnable, it's going to be to a guy like Joe Pyfer. I think he's big enough. I think he's strong enough. I think he's going to be fast twitch enough. I'm going Joe Pyfer by knockout round 1. Maybe 2. Guys, I'm not spending much time on this. Let's not overthink it. People are trying to hardcore pick Juliana Pena here. Why? She lost to Raquel Pennington. She literally robbed Raquel Pennington because this fight would sell more because Juliana Pena will yap. Or whoever ends up winning this fight is a good fight for Nunes because you get Pena in the trilogy or you get Kayla Harrison against Amanda Nunes, which is the biggest fight you can make at women's bantamweight. It's as simple as that. They gifted Juliana Pena a decision against Pennington. What has she done to actually prove to you that she's good? She beat Pennington and by a split when she definitely lost, like 49-46 lost. Got smacked up by Nunes, fluked to win over Nunes, subbed Sarah McMahon, like 10-7 Sarah McMahon, got subbed by Jermaine Durandamy. She's not active, dude. She has no, like, fights against these kinds of bantamweights. And I think she loses to a Ketlin Vieira, who Kayla Harrison beat. I think she loses to a Macy Chasson, who Caitlin Harrison would beat. I think Norma Dumont's the one in this division to beat Kayla Harrison. That's not Amanda Nunes. I'll keep it a buck. Juliana Pena is going to lose. I think she's going to get TKO'd in round 2 or 3 with elbows from Kayla Harrison. I think Kayla Harrison's going to have her best performance yet. I just think Juliana Pena is going to accept going to the ground. She's going to try and act like she's got better jiu-jitsu and that it's going to be better than Kayla's wrestling. And she's going to accept going to the ground, and Kayla Harrison's going to have her in dominant position the whole time, landing ground and pound, landing elbows, cage control, clinch control, ground control. She's going to dominate this fight in the grappling and get a ground and pound TKO. I'm going Kayla Harrison, round 2 TKO, ground and pound, and new. Amanda Nunes walks in the cage. And I get it. Like, guys, here's the thing. People are going to say, well, Kayla Harrison's not that good. I agree. I actually agree. I just don't think Pena's good at all. So I'll keep it real. I think Kayla's better than Pena. It's really that simple. I know it's not a hot take because they're minus 800. I'm just seeing a lot of people try and over hardcore this thing. You know what I mean? Trying to over hardcore it. So I'm going Kayla Harrison, round 2, ground and pound TKO. She's slow on the feet. I get it. She's slow overall, but she's gonna dominate Kayla. Or she's gonna dominate Juliana, bro. I'm telling you. Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Big underdog, I'm taking Suga Show, bro. Suga Show's going to get this one done. He's going to clip Merab and knock him out with a straight right hand in round 3. I'm calling it. Sean O'Malley is so much better than he's been getting credit for because of his performance against Merab, dude. It's kind of driving me nuts. He won 2 rounds against Merab already. And Merab's good. Like, he's good, but he doesn't have, like, the technique of anything. Like, he's not technically good at striking. He's not technically great at wrestling. He's just a fucking work hard, absolute monster. He's going to go in there, he's going to work his ass off, and he's going to out-cardio you. And he's had strikes that have landed on O'Malley in the past. He's been able to get takedowns. I just think the O'Malley we saw at Noche was the worst version of O'Malley we've seen. I do. I think that O'Malley was injured a little bit in the hip. Now, I'm not going to make excuses because Merab beat him. But even then, O'Malley won 2 of those rounds, and they were the later rounds, rounds 3 and 5. He started finding what was working on Merab, the straights to the body, the teeps to the body. I think Merab, and he's already fought him. He knows what Merab's coming at him with. I think O'Malley's going to be the guy that has more to improve on in this fight, and I think he's going to be the one that makes those improvements. The range is going to be very scary for Merab to come across the void. I don't know if he's going to just, Mr. Krabs his way around the octagon the whole time this time, working like a bunch of Mexicans with maracas. Merab's grown on me. I want to say that. Merab's grown on me, so don't think this is like a hating thing. I just think O'Malley's going to be able to clip him, bro. And this fight, I've been saying it for so long, bro. If you haven't seen my last video, go watch it. This is destined to be a trilogy. A lot of people are saying they're not going to give Merab another shot, bro. They're not. I think once Merab loses on this win streak to O'Malley here in the second fight, he's going to lose the third time, and that's where we're going to start to see Merab start to come downhill, come back down to earth. He's only getting older. O'Malley's entering his prime. O'Malley's in his prime right now. Merab has been in his prime, but he's coming out of it a little bit. I think the teep kicks are going to be very good for O'Malley. I think he's going to be able to land good straight right hands. He's going to start feinting a lot more up the middle. He's going to use a lot more movement. This is in the big octagon, which I think is going to favor O'Malley. And I don't think Merab's going to be able to hold down O'Malley as long as he did in those first 2 fights. I think we're going to have a lot of very close rounds. And if you think that the super close round that could go either way isn't going to O'Malley on a judge's scorecard, you're crazy. I don't love that that's how the UFC works, but it is. You're crazy if you think that's not how it's going to go. I think O'Malley's good enough to get it done. I think he is the hard matchup for Merab. I think he is the most difficult one. Outside, honestly, dude, Song Yadong and Corey Sandhagen pose incredibly tough threats. I also think O'Malley poses a tough threat, though. I don't think Merab's just going to be able to topple over O'Malley like he did in the first fight. I don't think so. I think the straight right hands are going to be there for O'Malley. I think he's going to use a lot of feints, feint stuff up the middle, land a lot of teep kicks. I think you're going to see a lot more head kicks from O'Malley, too. I think you're going to see head kicks coming off of strikes. Like he's going to throw a 2 and a left high kick, or a 2 and a same side head kick. Maybe 1-2 high kick, front kick, spinning back kick. I think you're going to see a lot more of the dynamic striking from Sean O'Malley. And bro, like, I don't want to be the fucking NPC that's like, dude, look at his Instagram. He's been locked in. Bro, he hasn't been. He has other people running his socials. He hasn't been yapping. Stopped gooning. Huge, right? Huge work for him. But dude, he stopped smoking weed. Like, he's taking it so much more seriously. And I think that loss that he had to Merab was one of those things that a guy like Sean O'Malley needs to prove himself, to say, I needed that loss so that way I know what to do. I go back and I get better and I get better. Got to stop taking this as a joke. I'm not invincible, right? This isn't a joke anymore. I want to go out there. I want to get my title back. I'm going to fight the best fight that I got. And I think we're going to see that. Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili. I'm picking Sean by round 3 TKO. And I can see him throwing one of those knees up the middle when Merab shoots a takedown like he did on Cheeto, and it actually flatlining Merab. So I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley to get this one done. Either a damage-based decision or a KO. Merab's good, but even in the lead-up, he's saying he's going to struggle to take O'Malley down. I get that he's just trolling and being like, dude, I'm not going to be able to take him down. I only did it 7 times in the first fight. But I don't like the way Merab is handling this fight as much as I am the way Sean O'Malley is. I know Merab's working hard. He's the hardest worker out there, bro. He literally is the hardest worker in the gym. But I think O'Malley's taking this a step up. I think he's taking his game to a new level in this time off. And I think he's fully healthy. I think he's fully healed up. Merab's been active, right? He's been good. Great champ. He's honestly been a good champion. And he's fun. The first fight was closer than people are willing to give credit for. 2 and 4 were extremely dominant rounds. Yes, Merab won round 1 also, but it was close. Round 3 and 5 were closer rounds. Round 5 was pretty clear, Sean O'Malley. Round 3 was close, but again, a lot of people scored to O'Malley, like myself. I just think Sean O'Malley's, if he does a little bit better in round 1 and makes rounds 3 and 5 more clear, he wins, bro. Like, if he does better than he did last fight, it's a really, really close fight, and he wins. So I'm going to pick Sean O'Malley to get this one done. I think he's going to look really good in this fight, and I think he's going to become champion again, and I think we immediately get a trilogy between Merab and Sean O'Malley. So by December, I could see it being maybe November MSG, we get a trilogy. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. These are predictions. Dude, Suga Show and new. He's going to be a 2-time champ. I'm calling it.